Okay, so what I'm doing here is I am recording basically my own kit of a Cajon. What I did is I dropped a drum rack into a blank MIDI track, and then I also recorded 3 different audio tracks of different things I did with my Cajon. So the first thing I did was I recorded my kick, which is just the middle part of the Cajon. Then I recorded like a high slap in the top corner of the Cajon, and then I recorded a mid slap. Each one of these is a different different velocity of how hard I hit the Cajon. So what I'm going to do is show you guys how I created a sample from these samples. Alright, so what I'm doing is I drop a sampler into a drum rack, and then I'll take my sample, drop it into sampler, and I'll click on this zone guy, bring it up, and I'll rename this one soft. And then what I'll do is I'll scoot that guy up there, bring that guy back, so that I'm just getting this one hit as close as I possibly can. Just like that. That's good. Alright, and then I'll duplicate this, and I'll do the same thing, and I'll just bring it up to the next one, and so on and so forth. And I'll skip ahead just so you guys don't have to watch this. Alright, so what I've done here is I took each individual, I split up the original sample into sections, from my soft sections into my medium sections, and then into my loud sections. So what this will do is now when I go into my velocity tab right here, I'll select these guys and bring it down to, say, let's go to 79, and then we'll bring the medium velocities up to 80, and bring the top down to, let's go with 100, and then we'll bring the loud down, or up rather, to 101. So now what this is going to do, actually what we'll do is we'll fade this a bit. So when we'll go into 96, and we'll take this little fader guy there, we'll select these guys, fade this, fade that down to 75, bring it up to, let's say, 80, and these guys up to 80, and bring the fader down. Okay, so now what this is going to do is when I am on my MIDI keyboard and I play a key, depending on how loud I hit the key, it depends on what sample will be played. So if I were to play a velocity of, say, anywhere at like 40, what it'll do is it'll play one of these 3 tracks. Actually right now it'll play all 3, but what we're going to do is go into our selector, and we're going to take each one of these and move these up to, let's go to 96, bring these down to 95, up to 72, and then these guys down to 71. So now when I play a certain velocity, say if it was 40, it'll play all of these samples, but now that I change the selector, it's going to select one of these samples. But what I'll do is I'll go into my modulation tab right here, click on my LFO, bring the type down to a random oscillation, and bring the frequency up so it oscillates at a faster rate, and then I'll select what I will be oscillating, what I'll be modulating, sorry, and I'll put it on the sample selector and bring that up to 100. So now whenever I'm playing a note, it's going to be switching between all of these samples. It's going to be changing which one I hit depending on my velocity, and at random whenever I hit a certain velocity. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this filter and bring the decay and the release all the way up. So when I play a note, it will hold it out instead of stopping the note as soon as I let go. So what you'll hear is you'll hear the snare. It's a little bit quiet, so what we'll do is we'll go in here, we'll select all of them, and bring the volume up for all of these up to about 9 dB. Just go to 9. And now when we play it, it'll be a little bit louder. There you go. So what I did is I recorded earlier some MIDI notes into a clip so that I can give you guys a short demonstration of what my kit would sound like. And obviously over the mic it doesn't sound that great, but if you select below, if you check out my blog, I'll have a SoundCloud link posted to the kit of how it would sound. So thanks for watching, and see you guys later.